So Caught Up was one of the only songs on Run Home Slow that we actually recorded all of the principal instruments at the same time. This album we kind of really wanted to go in, I guess, a bit more detail as far as the arrangements were concerned, so that meant that sometimes we would have to separate the parts.
Back there it's a 68 reissued Fender Deluxe through just pretty much just a little custom built sort of tube screamer thing, and that just sort of boosts my gain into the amp, and that's really kind of all I use on stage. And then my Fender that I've had with me since I was about 12, which is my baby really.
Fender Deluxe sort of 65 is the amp I use, and I play a Gibson 335. It's a 58 reissue, and I've got the opinion with equipment that, you know, simple is better, like a good food recipe. You know, it doesn't have to be a lot to it.
Well, I've always known pain's like a heavy.
On my amp, I love putting a Sennheiser 421. Always having another ribbon mic a little bit more distant from the amp as well is like important for me to get my sound. I'm in the studio and for live.
That's the story of love.
For the album, it was my goal to have one song that I treated to something that would go over 32 bars or 16. And so all of the rhythm that's going on is kind of this evolving, flowing thing.
And you ride down the morning.
Well, you can use a
I've just got a new desk, the DDA. I'm very excited to get that set up. But the previous desk was just, you know, wasn't much of a console, and it's an old Pack Scorpion. But it had just been around the so many Melbourne studios, and every engineer that came around to the studio, and they looked at that desk and oh, I know that desk. You know,
It's great, yeah.
Our first album was mixed down that console, and it has a particular sound, and it'd been through a lot with us as well. So that's a big part of mixing and recording. When mixing a project, the digital summing that you would use in say Pro Tools or something is kind of, you know, where your mix kind of gets lost a little bit. So having an analog board to kind of run it down seems to just clear things up a lot more, and you don't end up having to work as hard in the mix. So all these pieces of analog equipment are very important for us and our sound, I guess.